Alrighty, it is Thursday, but I have to go back to Wednesday really quick. So after I recorded audio, I did a little bit of light journaling. Monica got off and we did some random drawings. I went through all of my stuff and I was trying to find as many like old characters that I drew like a really long time ago. I was trying to find as many of them and just like finally give them some character designs. I also tried to finish ones that I started like very recently. So I ended up coming up with a few images. The new character I was talking about in the last video that I wanted to work on, I ended up making her a child, and like I kind of don't like it. And I want to change it to something else because like I liked her better when she was a full-scale woman instead of a child. But like I'm trying to finish the child design just so I can say I tried to do it. Other than that, I want to go back to the original vision I had and planned for her, because I wanted to make her look exactly like 3 specific characters, and I was trying to basically combine the 3 characters into one person. But the problem was when I showed Monica the picture, she had an opinion of what I should do with it, which I knew she was going to have an opinion, because when I was first thinking about it during the time I had insomnia, because that's when I started really like getting the idea for it, I knew if I had talked to her or showed her it, she would probably try to like advise me to do something specific with the character. So I was not surprised. In fact, I was actually kind of annoyed that I ended up in this situation anyway. So I'm at this point where I figure, okay, this version of this character, her being a child, is going to have the exact things Monica requested for her. So yeah, I'm going to try again, but I'm going to do it and make her a older girl and see how that pans out, because like I don't like what I did with her. She just kind of she kind of sucks. Okay, so after that, I went onto the laptop to find some character designs that were specifically for Monica. We did these character designs like years ago. I remember that I first drew these pictures when my mom had to go to the hospital in La Palma, and Monica and I were sitting in the parking lot waiting for Dad to come back, and we were drawing it. So I scanned it. I don't remember when I scanned it, but I know I scanned it sometime afterward, and I still had the scan. So I showed it to her. So I ended up drawing an extra copy for myself in case she needed a extra copy. So yeah, after that, we stopped sometime around 6:30. We went back on. I scanned everything I was working on. I unloaded the phone. I added the new music. I colored in the characters. And one of the characters, or 2 of the characters, I had a general idea what I wanted for them. I just kind of like threw random colors on them. I think I might go back and fix it, because like I didn't really know exactly what I want. I just literally threw colors wherever. So I'm thinking about going back and fixing one of the designs. I know one of the other designs I actually did that too. So I think the character is as close to being as finished as I can do with him. Other than that, what else is there? I didn't get to edit any of the audio last night because I got stuck playing a podcast. I didn't find out until we got off sometime around like 8:30 that Monica wasn't really listening to it. So it annoyed me because like I thought that we were both listening to it, and if she had told me she wasn't listening to it, I wouldn't have played it. So yeah. So the moment we got in bed, the asshole across the street started shooting fireworks all night long, and like even Monica was finally getting annoyed with it, which surprised me because I felt like it seemed like she was mostly sleeping through it. So yeah. In the meanwhile, in unrelated news, so apparently Disneyland announced their opening dates. They're going to open Downtown Disney on the 6th. Is that what they said? I think it was, no, the 7th. Okay, so they're opening Downtown Disney on the 7th of July. They are opening the main parks on the 16th, and then everything else is going to open up on the 23rd. So I know it's like, what do you care? I don't really go to Disneyland, and we were already there this year. We were there when the coronavirus stuff started really breaking out. So like, I know it's like, why am I even bringing this up? No, I just think it's interesting. It was interesting going back. That at that time when we left Disneyland, I went to the Anaheim Convention Center, and oh my god, it was mostly dead. Most of the main areas were empty, but the hotels were still full of people. And like now it's not even like that anymore. Okay. So, I woke up at 6. I went back on at 6:30. I worked on the audio and I finished Ivy's magic card art. I gave her a background, and then Monica came to join me at 7. We ate breakfast, and then I stopped to line art Warren's magic card. It upsets me how, like, for the last 3 pictures I line arted, there's always something about it I have to go back and fix. And I didn't have this much trouble with the 4-panel comics, but I'm having this trouble with the magic cards. I guess because there's so much going on in the picture, it's hard to keep track of like what exactly I'm doing. I scanned it, I fixed it, and then I took a break at like 9:10. I was expecting to go listen to my music, but Monica thought it was time to get off, so she got off too. So we ended up going to Ross. We left at like 9:30. Ross has barely anything in it. I feel like they got rid of something, but I can't tell what. I think they just like moved everything. I don't know. It's just really hard for me to tell what they did different to the place, but they did something different so that way everything wasn't crowded together. Usually all the aisles are crowded together, but they barely had anything for sale. I think like the most that we saw was this one butterfly journal. It would have gone to the same collection with our super ornate journals that we have. They also had this really, really nice tablecloth, and then there was a couple of beddings that we were interested in, but we ended up not buying anything. So yeah, because there was barely anything to see at Ross, we ended up going to the 99-cent store. They have pop vinyl figures. I've seen some before, but it's usually for series I don't know. But like, oh my god, they had all of I think his name is Daggett. Is that what his name? From Angry Beavers. And like, I couldn't believe how many they had of him. I was so surprised because he was like everywhere. And I'm like, does anyone even still remember Angry Beavers? I think they took it off the air like a while ago. There's gotta be a way to like go back and like still watch it. So like, yeah, he was everywhere. It was like, wow, I can't believe that. Let's see. So we checked everything out. The other thing that really interested us besides these journals was this enormous water bottle. It was like $8, almost $9, and we were like, wow, that's a good investment. It's like a giant water bottle. It was metal. It was so tempting. We didn't end up getting it though. So yeah, we got home at like 11:10. I went back on to finish the audio, and then Monica made lunch, and we stopped and we watched the first 20 minutes of the Lupin movie, the new 3D Lupin movie. I don't know who's writing for Lupin, but I kind of feel like whoever it is not either they're having a hard time translating what makes the cartoon appealing into 3D. But I don't know, because I had this feeling about the most recent episodes for the remake that came out like recently. It just, that too also seems like they don't really know what the appeal is of the series, and like I remember watching Lupin. I know it was supposed to be absurd and weird, but I also feel like there's elements of it where the storytelling feels like it's wonky, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just how the that specific director directed the episodes that I saw, and that guy did it very well, and then every director after that is probably sticking way too close to the manga. I don't know. All I know is that the Lupin that's been coming out lately hasn't felt like the Lupin I fell in love with, which really kind of upsets me. So this is the same thing. I feel like the whole opening act of him getting caught trying to get the book, yeah, all of that was really poorly like choreographed. Oh my god, they only used one camera angle for like the majority of that scene, and it just made everything look so like, is this even happening? It just, I had a hard time suspending my disbelief. So it seems that Lupin's grandfather got the key, and I think that was a bit of a confusion because Monica and I both got confused by that because we didn't know who it was that came and took the key from them. But he has a key and she has a key, but they didn't stop and determine where the second key came from, so that was confusing. I don't know. Let's see. So we ended up stopping at 20 minutes in. I ended up finishing the audio at 12:50 and I got off to go compress my video. So that's basically it. Monica's writing right now, so I don't know what she wants to do. We just did a lot of walking today. I don't know if she wants to do some more walking. Is there anything else of significance that happened? Anything else? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Oh yeah, so I did mention that I had to send money over to pay for the girls' tax fee. I found that money is going to show up on the 15th, so I have to wait until next week to get this thing solved, which is so frustrating. I wish it would come sooner, but it's going to take us up until the 15th. So annoying. Until then, I haven't really done anything with my eBay. I should try to do something, because like the one thing I was mostly focused on was doing the video, and now that I'm done with the video, I'm going to most likely mess with my eBay now. I'm trying to decide if I should relist Mikazuki again, even though I'm still having problems with him. But I think I should wait until it's we get this figured out first. Oh, this is so annoying. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, not really. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Friday, but I have to go back to Thursday really quick. I am so tired. Today was a long ass day. Okay, so as soon as I was done recording, I got out of the bedroom and to find Monica was already talking to herself, which was terrible because she had an appointment in 30 minutes. And sometimes when she's talking to herself, she can't like concentrate enough to actually talk to anybody. So, I ended up having some quiet time with her after that. And then the phone call happened, and then she was able to do the phone call just fine. So, while she was talking to her care coordinator, I ended up writing that fanfic that I've been dabbling in for the last year. I finally have chapter 2 of this book, which I'm surprised at how long it took me to get here, because I would think that I would be finished with this book by now. I don't know. I just don't dedicate a lot of time to this fanfic. So yeah, I stopped at 4. I went back on to load the video because my video had just finished compressing. When I was on the computer, I ended up realizing that I completely forgot to put the video on the cartridge. So I had to literally go back to the laptop and put it back onto the cartridge. So yes, after that, Monica joined me, but she had to get off really quickly to receive her next phone call. And then I got tired and I got off at 5, and then she made chicken, and then we walked around for 30 minutes. So we ate dinner, and then we went straight to bed, but I don't know how long it took me to fall asleep. All I know is that suddenly at 10 I was awake because of traffic sounds. Like somebody was rushing around, like I don't know what kind of crazy thing they did on dirt in the street. All I know is that woke me up. So yeah, I spent hours being awake. I did think about other things I wanted to do in that fanfic though. But other than that was it. Last thing I checked was I think I might have slept between 2 and 4:50, because I remember I was up from 10 until 2 in the morning, and then next thing I know it was 4:50. So I'm not really 100% sure. All I know is that Monica's alarm woke me up at 5. So we went to go take a shower. I got out at 5:30, and then I rested until 6:20, and I went back on and we watched a few YouTube videos, and then we ate breakfast. I worked on some of the drafts. I completed and scanned the 4-panel comic that I had worked on this week. I was being very lazy about finishing that. So I ended up scanning it and printing it out, and then we got ready to leave at 8 o'clock to go to her appointment. We packed up and we went. We took some interesting new routes that we hadn't taken before. There's a bunch of neighborhoods by the Pearson Park that we haven't actually seen, so we ended up going down Clementine Street and looking at all the houses there. The houses are so nice. Oh my god, the houses are so nice. I can't even. So yeah, it felt so nice to like get lost someplace somewhat familiar, because like we hadn't seen that area before, but we knew where it was, so it was technically an old area. So yes, we ended up hitting the North Gate that is on La Palma Street, right across the street from the place where she usually gets her blood tests at the lab. And like going in and out of that North Gate was so fast. It just occurred to me, maybe it was only like that because of them easing restrictions recently. Other than that, it made me feel like it was so much better than our North Gate, because our North Gate put so many restrictions on us. Like we always had to wait in a line to get into the North Gate. So I feel like this was the best North Gate ever. I really liked what they did with the self-serve area. In the past, the self-serve area, you could just walk up to it and self-serve yourself whatever pastries you wanted. But they combined it with this one food service area. So the woman was surrounded by all the self-serve cabinets. So you can wander around her station to see what you wanted and then come to her at the pay area and get it really easily. And I was like, wow, this is a really good idea. I wish they had thought of that at our Northgate, but it's not like that over there. So yeah. So we ended up going to the place where Monica's appointment is. She said it wasn't the hospital, but I don't really know what it was. I guess it was like a clinic, some type of like ginormous clinic. And like we had to go to the 7th floor for her to go to see the endocrinologist. We got there sometime around like 9:12, and we had to wait an hour for her to get some service. I worked on my drafts. And I only managed to complete another set of 4-panel comics. So I need to scan those. That's not a lot of stuff that I did. I actually was hoping to do a lot more, but I ended up not doing that much. So yeah, I got tired of drawing at like 10:22, and then she got out at like 10:45, and then we left at 11. We walked all the way to Vaughn's, and we ended up picking up apples and broccoli. And then we walked home. We ended up getting home sometime around 12:30. I unloaded the bag, and then we made pizza for lunch. And after we ate, we ended up crashing. So I just woke up right now. It's like 3-something. So Monica's technically on the computer already. I turned on the computer so that I can scan my shit. But like, I just remembered I should record, so I decided to do this first. So I'm going to go back on. I'm going to scan everything that I did and print out whatever I need to print out. And then whatever. I don't know. I have and then get back to work. So, I thought we have a lot of videos we need to catch up with. We could have watched Lupin today, but like we both weren't in the mood for it. I guess knowing that most of our favorite series update at the end of the week, I think we're probably going to catch up with Lupin like later. I can't imagine getting back to it just yet. There's so much I need to do on Monday. It makes me kind of angry, the amount of things I have to do on Monday. I just trying not to be angry. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Anything else of significance? I'm trying to think. I'm mostly just thirsty right now. I guess I should just cut it here because like I can't think of anything else to add. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday really quick. So after I record audio, we ended up watching YouTube together, and then I scanned all the work that I did, at least some of the work that I did, and then I printed out what I had in blue. I managed to complete one line art, and then I started coloring in Flora's Magic card. I got off at like 5:46, went to bed, and I only slept until 2. Monica accidentally woke me up, and I wasn't able to return to sleep, so I decided to go back on at like 3:20. I worked on Flora's Magic card. I finished the artwork at about like 5:30, and then I got off and I went back to sleep. Monica tried to wake me up sometime around 6, I think. She tried to give me breakfast, but I was way too tired, so I just told her, put it back in the refrigerator and I'll eat it later. So I ended up having a weird dream that we were in some type of palace, but it was actually a grocery store, and we were with our nephew, and he was still 8 years old. He's not 8 anymore. At this point, he's probably like 20, 22 or 23 or something like that. I don't remember. So yeah, I woke up sometime around 8 to hear Monica leave the house. When I got up, it was like 8:20, I think, and I looked around and I realized that she took the shopping cart and all the empty bottles with her and all the change that I had. And I was like, okay, so I guess she's going to go to the closest water machine and get a refill. So I ended up doing a little bit of light walking around the house. I also moved a few things. I put my two dolls back in this room, and then I went into the closet and rearranged where everything was because I didn't like that we couldn't really enter the closet very well. So now we have room in the closet. It did cross my mind to start recording me trying to get rid of all my journals for my stationery channel, but like I didn't know how long I had until she was going to come back. She ended up coming back at like 8:50, so it's a good thing I didn't try anything. So yeah, I thought she went to Albertsons. She told me she went to the closest water machine. So we talked about going back to Albertsons together later. She told me that she was tired, but I was really excited for her. So she ended up saying, let's go sometime around 11. So I was like, ah, fuck. Okay, so she rested at 8-9. And then I went to work on updating my journals. I finished a line art for 2 extras, and then I stopped at like 10 and I went back on to scan whatever I had completed. So I passed off what I was working on to Monica, and then we ended up eating lunch really quick. We watched a 31-minute video. It was funny. It was Killian Experience's History of Music. It was really bad, but it was hilarious. I love what he said about Eurovision, that they came up with an idea to bring all of Europe together, and all of Europe came together to agree it was a bad idea. That was hilarious. I was just waiting for him to say something about Eurovision. Alrighty, so after that, we left for Albertsons. The first place we went to was, first we got the water, and then we went to the stationery section. She looked at all the stationery she liked, and I looked at all the magazines. I was so mad they didn't have any novels. All they had was kids' books, and that's it. Part of me feels like I'm not supposed to be surprised about that, but like I actually was pretty surprised about that because I was expecting to see some novels, like how Vaughn's has novels. Vaughn's has like the typical set of novels that even Walgreens has. These are the stuff that you know your mom likes to read. That's why they sell it there. Okay, so yeah. So I look at the prices of the magazines. The magazine I was the most interested in was about, actually most of the magazines were about like $12, and like there's a few that were only like $5 or $6. The two that I caught my attention was, I really like Organized, is my favorite magazine, and then there was this one History of Vikings that I thought was really interesting. I kind of wanted to read that, but like we didn't end up getting anything. We checked to see the rigatoni was there. There was still no rigatoni, so we ended up just going and getting mango, because she found the mango in the frozen fruit section. So we got that. She got 2 bags of that, and we ended up leaving. So we got back at like 12:45. So we watched a bit of YouTube, and I worked on another 4 panel comic draft. I didn't make it very far into it. I was getting tired. She was getting tired. She offered sometime around 1:40 to go to her computer and start coloring, but we both talked about how tired we were, so we went to sleep anyway. I didn't ask her how long she slept for. I woke up at like 3:50 something, and then I asked her if she was awake, and she told me she was reading an old journal or something like that. We're deciding to have dinner right now, so she's working on that. This is what I need to do. I scanned some of the drafts that I had for yesterday's appointment. I didn't make it through all I was too tired. I couldn't like distinguish what I printed out, so that's the reason why I didn't do more with that. So I'm thinking about just printing out whatever I did that actually is distinguishable, and like going ahead and finishing that shit. Other than that, I don't know. There's also the possibility I could try to draw it on the computer. That's an idea. Considering everything that I got done this week, I don't really feel like I did much. If I start with Monday, the only thing I got done was Loris's character page, Warren's character page, Ivy's character page. I did all the lineup for the magic cards. I completed 2 of them, the artwork. And now all I have to do is finish Warren, and then I have all these 4-panel comics I have not touched. So I think the best thing would be is to spend the beginning of next week just trying to finish the magic cards, finish Warren's picture, do all the text and the icons for them, and just get them the fuck out of the way so I can go ahead and work on all the 4-panel comics, because the majority of this is going to be 4-panel comics and illustrations. I wanted to get all the illustrations done, but I just didn't get any of them done. So like, I'm really mad at myself for that. So let's see if we do better. I don't know. So there's a bunch of things happening. I have an appointment on Monday. We also have to do the laundry. Monica has to get a blood test. She has several appointments that week too. So like, a few times she's gonna go out without me and take my bicycle with her, because that's all we have left is my bicycle. So I don't know how things are gonna pan out for her. I just hope that things work out in some way. Is there anything else that's on my mind? Nothing else is coming to mind at the moment. Alrighty then. Wish me luck. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it's Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. So after record audio, I ate dinner, and then I went back on at like 4:32. We ended up watching a bunch of videos, and I ended up trying to finish some of the drafts that I had from Friday's event. I ended up scanning whatever draft I was trying to complete, and then I printed it out along with a bunch of other drafts that I had already scanned that were ready to be worked on. So I took the 2 illustration page that was the easiest, and I quickly like line arted through it, and then I scanned it. So that happened sometime around like 6:36. I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot I actually finished something yesterday. In fact, I saw it later at the end of today, and I was like, fuck, I should have finished that. I should have passed it up to Monica. But I completely forgot. Okay, so we got tired and we got off at like 6:40. And then I went and I tried to finish this one last scene I left off and on my fanfic I've been writing, and then Monica ended up reading it once I was done. And then we went straight back to bed. That asshole across the street blew a ton of fireworks last night, but my sleep schedule is really weird right now. It's not like consistent. I sleep whenever now, but I don't feel miserable, so I think I'm gonna be okay. So I woke up around like 5:40. I went back on and I downloaded some music. I remember when last time we were at Ross, I heard this song called Keep in Touch, and I thought it was by a girl, but it's actually by a little boy. He just barely graduated from elementary school, and oh my god, he's so cute. I can't even. After that, I ended up coloring in Warren's magic card, and I finished it early this morning. So now I can start focusing on putting text and other graphics on those cards. It's probably going to take me all of the rest of this week. I don't know how long it's going to take me though. Okay, so Monica got up at 6:40. We ate breakfast, and then she went back on. Apparently, somebody who asked her about the markers contacted her about getting them today. Like that person was actually going to pay the $30 instead of trying to haggle down for $20. So I took the markers out of the refrigerator so that way they could thaw. And like I asked her, did you put on the listing that there was a marker missing? Because like she should have done that. And like she said that it's obvious in the picture, but I told her that no, so just some people it's not fucking obvious. So yeah, sometimes you have to spell things out for people because they don't really see. They see, but they don't really like see, you know? Okay, so I I got tired and I got off sometime around like 7:30 something. And then I rested until 9. And then Monica got off, so we decided to go to the plaza to pick up lunch. And then we got home, we ate. And then we rested at 10:30. I woke up at like 1:13. I went back on the computer to work on line arting. I really should have been editing that one file because I completely forgot about it. Okay, so I stopped at like 2:15. We ate dinner. We watched I guess this is the second to the last episode of that Villain Otome anime, and she got stuck in a dream where she was back at her original life. And I feel like this was basically a review episode. Everybody talked about how much they loved her, but the person who had the most meaningful part of the episode was her friend. When her friend told her goodbye, her friend never told her that she was Sophia, which makes me really confused because I feel like Sophia and her friend are two different people, which is extremely confusing. So I don't know how to accept that. That's really, really weird. So out of everything, that was the only thing I didn't like about it. Other than that was basically the best part of it. So we got tired and we got off at like 2:46, and then we set up the laundry for tomorrow. And I updated my journal, and then we split up at 3:20 so that way I can record audio. So this is what we need to do now. Tomorrow, I need to refund that girl. I don't know when that money is coming in. I'm just assuming that it's going to be in by the beginning of the day. That's the best case scenario, though. If it isn't, then I have to wait until like later in the same day, but I'm going to have to refund that girl. Then I'm going to have to update my eBay, but I also have an appointment at 9:30. So I feel like out of everything that's happening, that's technically more important, but I really want to get that girl refunded as fast as possible so I don't have to think about her ever again. So yes. What else was there? Other than that, my eBay has pretty much been stagnant for the entire week. So, like, I don't really know what else to do with it aside from, like, put Mikazuki back up and, like, put my Loopsies up. But I figure I'll do that at the end of the week. As for Monica, the person who she's been talking to about the markers hasn't replied to her, but a completely different person did. So we're not really sure about this at all. So I don't know who's going to end up getting to it, and I don't know if the second person who asked about the markers is a completely different person or if it is a person that the other person knows. So we're gonna have to find out. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, that's as much as I can think of. Alrighty then, wish me luck for tomorrow. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Monday, but I have to go back to Sunday really quick. So I have to record audio. We tried to go for a walk around the house, but Monica wanted to go outside. So I was like, well, there is that one neighborhood across the street, or more like down the street. They were building it when we first came to this city, and they finished it like, I think like a few months after we moved in, and we haven't gone to go see it yet. So we decided to do that really quickly. It was very anticlimactic. It was mostly like parking lot. There was like 2 places to sit and have a barbecue, and that was basically it. Everything was very like cramped and narrow. So we just wandered around it twice, and then we came back. We got home at like 4:10. I tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't, so I went back on at like 6:20, and then Monica ended up joining me. So in the process of trying to color in my extras, I realized that there were some extras that were missing, and the specific one was like, I think it was part 2 of the series of, I think, 4 extras, and I was like, wait a second, I could have sworn I line arted this. Where did it go? So I looked through everything, and I ended up finding it in my pile of used paper. It was half finished, and I'm like, oh my god, I did it again. I almost scrapped an extra before I was finished with it. So it's a good thing I found it before I try to print it out again. So I put it with my other unfinished 4-panel comic, and then I got tired and I got off at 8. So I know Monica took her a while to join me, but she did eventually. So we slept. Her phone was set to wake us up at 5. So I woke up sometime around 3:40. I went on to see if the money I sent over from my bank account to my PayPal showed up, and it said it would show up sometime around 12 p.m., which left me feeling like, ugh. So, yeah. In the meanwhile, I ended up coloring through 2 of the illustrations I had. After that, I stopped sometime around like 4:40. I ended up getting ready to leave for the laundromat. Monica was really reluctant to get up by the time it was 5. We ended up leaving at like 5:20. We arrived sometime around 5:40. I don't know what the machine ripped me off, because like when I was trying to turn my money into change, I think I had a little bit of trouble with it. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I remember having trouble with it, but I think it didn't give me a quarter, but then later Monica got one of the machines to give her an extra quarter, so we walked away with $14. I originally had it give me like $19 worth of quarters, so we walked away with 14. I could have sworn we left with more money than that, but I'm not really sure. All I know is that that's as much money as we came home with. So I kind of feel ripped off, but I don't know how ripped off I should feel. I should have counted the money before we left. Okay, so while we were there, we were the only 2 people in the laundromat. Originally, it was us and I think 2 other guys. One guy left, and then this other guy, his friend suddenly showed up. So he left to go hang out with his friend outside. So I sat down where he was sitting down. I worked on the storyboard for 3 out of the 6 remaining 4-panel comics. I could have gone on to one of the remaining 3. I could have gone on, but like we ran out of time. So we ended up leaving sometime around like 6:50. We got back at like 7. I scanned all my work and I printed it out in red. Monica put away all of the laundry, and then I completed the 2 4-panel comics I had lying around. And then we ate breakfast, and then after that, Monica left for Walmart. I thought she was going to go to the nearby market Walmart, but she didn't. She went to the regular Walmart. The reason why she went was because she didn't want to have to focus on going after her doctor's appointment tomorrow. So she just wanted to get that out of the way. So she bought chicken. So while she was gone, because she left sometime around like 7:47, I checked my email, and I found out my money showed up at 6. So I was like, good, I can finally refund that girl. So I did. So the next thing that has to happen was that she has to report to eBay that I refunded her. She has until like June 20th to report to them that I refunded her. So I got that out of the way. So after that, I updated the budget. I got off at 8:40. Monica got back at 9. We had a snack, and then my interview happened at 9:30, like 2 or 35, and the guy was operating from home, so he couldn't do everything as detailed as he used to. He did answer a really important question for me, because I was wondering about this one thing I had to do last year when I had this interview, and he said that they're not doing it this year because of the pandemic. So I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about that, but I need to worry about it next year, just in case if we're not having a pandemic next year. So yeah. After that, once we got done with that, Monica and I decided to go check out the market Walmart to see what they had, because we wanted to see if they even had the chicken at all, if she had ever tried to go down there, which she had been successful in getting anything. So the first thing she did was check her Facebook before she left, and the woman who wants the markers works in Santa Ana, so she's gonna come by later sometime around like 3 or 4 to pick them up. Monica and I had an argument of whether or not the marker should stay in the refrigerator, because like I I know that being frozen actually is bad for them and they might explode. She thinks that as long as they're in the refrigerator, they won't mold, which I don't know if that's going to help. All I know is that once we made an agreement about whether or not the woman was coming, I was finally able to take the markers out of the refrigerator. So they're thawing or waiting to go now. Okay, so after that, we left for the market Walmart, and we got 2 phone calls on the way there. The first phone call was this guy asking me if I wanted to do my interview, and I told him I did it at 9:30, and I had to explain to him that somebody else already took it. The thing that upset me is that in the middle of this conversation, some fucker in the neighborhood where we were passing through suddenly decided to light off a random firework, and like it scared him too. So he told me that he was going to see if the information that he had was going to update, and if it didn't update, he would call me back, and then we'd have to do it all over again. So I think the only reason why this happened is because I sent in 2 paperworks, because I was sent 2 paperwork. So like he must have come from a completely different area that got the same paperwork, I think, because I know I sent a paperwork to Cypress, and then one paperwork went to, I think it went to Anaheim, I'm not really sure, or it went to Garden Grove, I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that I sent in 2, and the first guy said he found both files there. So I made me so mad I got 2 interviews. Okay, so the second phone call was Monica's doctor's appointment, and they told her that it's going to be a phone call. So she was really relieved that she didn't have to go out. On the way to the market Walmart, we found a buttload of bottles and cans. So I have a ton of them now. I don't know if it gets me any closer to getting to the recycling center. I don't think so. I want to start crushing some of the bottles that we currently have, because like we just replaced like 6 of them. So I really want to crush 6 of them, but I don't know if she's going to have a problem with that, because we have so many quarters. We might as well just refill them, but like I want to go to the recycling center this month. We're on the 3rd week of the month and we still don't have enough bottles to go. I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna make it by the end of the month. Okay, so we headed to the market Walmart. At most we were hoping to find a roast beef sandwich. We barely made it. We found like this super sub that had like all the meat in it, including the beef that we wanted. I did find other sandwiches, but like I couldn't tell if she even like wanted them. She didn't acknowledge them, and she told me she wasn't even acknowledging them at all when she saw them. Like, these are also roast beef. We can just get these, but like she didn't hear me. We also checked for rigatoni. They didn't have it. The chicken was there. She could have gotten here. She didn't have to go so damn far. So other than that, we got home sometime around like 12:17, I think it was. I was worried that the girl who I refunded was going to try to buy Gokotai, so I went and I used the user blocking buyer blocking feature, and I blocked her. I don't know if that's going to work, because like she could have just assumed that Mikazuki wasn't there and then she would go back to buy Gokotai, but like I blocked her. I blocked the other 2 accounts that asked me if I was going to drop the price for Mikazuki. So that's where I am right now. They've all been blocked. I don't know how well that blocking feature is going to work. But apparently, as long as I have a list of all the names I want to block, then though that's going to prevent them from bidding, buying, or making offers. I don't really know. I hope so. I mean, I went straight to eBay. I should check again to make sure. So the second part panel comic, I hadn't had edited it yet. So I passed that off to Monica. And then I updated the budget again, and we got off at like 1:10. I was so tired. I went to sleep. She woke me up randomly at 2 just to tell me that South Coast Plaza is open. And like, I told her that I was super excited for that, but I didn't want to go there just to find out that not every business is open, because we see so few businesses out there. So to come and to find not everything open would just destroy me. So like, I wanted to say, hey, let's go in July, but like, we're going to be doing pages by then, and that's not going to be as easy. So I feel like the best time of the year to go is probably September, if I don't know, because like during between summer and winter, It's I don't know if the coronavirus is gonna go harder, because like they said it might become a winter thing, like how the flu does. Oh, I don't know. So yeah. So right now it's like 2 something. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't have very much space left for this day in my journal. I didn't think I was going to write the amount that I did. So I did write at the ending, because I usually have leftover space. So I wrote some random shit at the ending, and now I feel like maybe I shouldn't have. I do have this one space right here underneath the to-do list for tomorrow, so maybe I can use that. I don't know. Other than that, this is the 5th recording, so pretty soon I'm gonna have to be editing audio again, and like, I feel like I just did that. It just, it goes by so quickly. So what do I want to do right now? I feel like I might as well go back to coloring, but I also have 3 more 4-panel comics I could be working on. I'm trying to think of what else I could possibly do right now, because I just feel tired and wasted. So I'm trying to think. I also don't know if I want to try to record some of the books I want to sell, because like that's the only other thing I could think of doing right now. Just like getting the books that I have, the 2 traveler's notebooks, and then that one journal that's a cover with a replaceable book inside. If I want to just like record those, I don't know. I'm trying to decide. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, nothing else I could think of. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Tuesday, but I have to go back to Monday really quick. So, after record audio, I did some light drawing. I went back on at 3:17 to resume coloring, and at that point, Monica finally sold the markers. So we have $30 now, and it didn't take too long before we couldn't agree what to do with it, because when we first started selling everything, we said that we would just store it away for later, but she wanted to use it for food for the end of the month. So I have no idea what's going to happen to that money now. So yeah. I ended up spending the afternoon researching more about the consequences of canceling an order on eBay, and I was trying to figure out how to respond to that. I ended up leaving her some feedback so that way she couldn't beat me to it. But then I ended up raising Yasu and Gokotai's prices, because like after what I had experienced with Mikazuki, I actually don't think I had enough money to send him out once I was done with her. So I had to raise their prices in order to guarantee that I was going to have some money left over to send them. So yeah. After that, we ate dinner. Got tired and got off at like 5:14. I messed with my inspiration album. I moved everything around in it. So far, it's like 1/2 tutorials and then a bunch of inspiration pictures and then a bunch of cute pictures I like. So I'm like, I don't really feel like the end of this book is really decided. And there are some pictures in there that make me feel like I kind of want to put these in a different book or something. So yeah. We spent the evening talking, and then we went to bed at like 8:40. So I woke up at 1. I couldn't stop thinking about eBay, so I ended up getting up at like 2:30 to color. I completed 3 illustrations at 3:34, and then I retrieved 3 pictures Monica was done with. So I tried to color them, but then I got too tired to keep going, so I just got off at like 4:22. I went to sleep, and Monica woke me up at like 6:10. We ate breakfast. We realized too late we were supposed to go to Monica's blood test today. She had already started making the food. So I told her, okay, just remember to set your alarm clock for tomorrow, and let's not make this mistake tomorrow. So we're going to go tomorrow morning. It's good because like this week is getting colder. This entire day, it pretty much was like cloudy. And according to the weather, not tomorrow, but Thursday is going to be the coldest day of the week. I really hope we do something cool, Monica doesn't want to go to the village. It makes me so angry because like, so far we already passed like 2 weeks. This is the third week of the month. I feel like this week is a good week to go. If she doesn't want to go tomorrow, I wonder if I could talk her into going next week. I have a sinking feeling she wants to go the fucking last week of the month. And then by that point, I don't expect to have time to do anything. I'd be too busy trying to finish as much shit as possible. She's so inconsiderate. Okay. So, yeah. So, after that, I messed around with my inspiration book again. And then, I went back on at like 6:55. I resumed work on the illustrations. And I tried to finish the pictures I was working on, but I just don't feel like doing the backgrounds yet. So I started working on the next 2 pictures. I called it until 8. We got tired and got off. And then we rested until Monica's UCI appointment phone call happened. They called her early at like 8:50. We were originally waiting for like 9:30 for them to call. So while she was doing that, I took pictures of me, Kazuki, in his box. I'm going to try to have her sell him on Facebook since I don't really feel comfortable waiting to resell him on eBay. After that, I tried to talk her into going and taking a bath after her phone call, but she still was tired. So I was like, great, I have to find something else to do. So I ended up messing around with my doll journal. We took a shower at like 9:50. And then after I got out, I went back on to color. And when I checked the internet, this YouTuber who she really likes, named Adam the Woo, decided to go to the Pancake House, which is right next to our apartment complex. And like we thought that was so wild that he actually went there. He also went to Citrus Park to eat it, and like he ended up saying a few things. He felt like that where we lived is extremely noisy, and like that is so true. Where we live is actually pretty damn noisy, especially because that park is right next to the train. He watched the train go by. Oh god. So we watched his episode together, and then I switched to working on the draft. So I completed a draft for a 4-panel comic. I have to go back and print that out. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. And then we stopped to eat lunch at like 11:30. I got off at like 12, and we took a nap, and we just woke up right now around like 2:40 something. I don't know if she slept. All I know is that when she got up, she woke me up. So I am assuming she slept. I hope she did, because like there have been times when we have been in bed together and then I sleep and she doesn't, and I know what that feels like, and it sucks. So this is what I need to do now. This is the 6th recording. I need to unload this phone. I need to edit the audio. I think I have a couple more songs I could add to this. I'm not 100% sure. I love Keep in Touch, the new song I downloaded, but I don't know if I want it on my phone. So like I have to think about that. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, not really. I guess I'll just call it here. Alright then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one.